Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you for the introduction. Let me check if I have permission to share the presentation. Yes, I can.
Okay, sir, your voice is little bit low, sir.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, yes, sir. Now it is better, sir. Now
Okay. So I'll try to speak loudly. Yeah. So please confirm when you see my slides.
yes, sir. Yes, slides are visible, sir.
Okay. So good afternoon, one and all. Thank you for the joining session and thank you, sir, for introduction. Thank you, MMTTC Center, SGBAU Amravati, for giving me the opportunity to share my views. So, yes, Dr. Mahadev Dongre sir has raised the hand. You want to say something? Dr. Mahadev Dongre, do you want to say something? Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So please continue, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So today I'll be diving into the particularly Indian knowledge system. Before actually we get into Indian knowledge system, I'll give a brief overview as to why we all need to study this Indian knowledge system. Then I will try to sort some of the misconceptions which are attached to IKS. In the later part, I'll invite the collaboration. I would like to share a good news with everyone that recently IKS division, Government of India has published a call for internships, giving internships for studying the IKS into various domain. And we have proposed one project with IIT Civil Engineering Department of IIT Roorkee, which is approved day before yesterday. And now we'll be working on the analyzing water supply system and acoustic engineering of Shivaji Maharaj ports or ports in Maharashtra. So they were not having the peer systems like we have today, or they were not having some advanced technologies that are available today. But still, they were able to address all the gatherings they used to have in their bar or on these ports and the water supply system. So there might be some engineering knowledge attached to it. Partially, we'll try to take a brief overview of what is that engineering knowledge they were having. So, anybody who want to send students or PhD scholars for studying this acoustic engineering and construction engineering of the ports, they are more than welcome, and the stipend to these students will be paid by the IKS division. So we are still finalizing the number of internships to be given, but in a couple of days we'll be through with that. So with that introduction, let me start with my presentation. I am making two statements and I request all of you to be interactive. I'll be collecting a feedback. You need to submit in between. I'll count the number of participants and the number of answers received. I'll be asking questions quite frequently throughout the presentation. So if you are not opened a PC or you are just logged in, kindly make sure that you are able to answer. I'll be sharing a Google form link. I'll be doing some polls or I'll be asking some question which you'll have to answer in the chat. The questions are not for checking your knowledge, check the questions for knowing your opinion about it. Okay, whatever I present pertaining to that, I'll ask few questions and I will, in the answer, I would like to know your opinion, your thoughts. The question, I know that you all are learned professors and you know many more things. So it's not for So I'm making two statements here, and this is the first question. How many of you agree to these two statements? Can I have answer in chat? If you agree, you can reply yes, I agree. If you don't, you have to reply no, I don't agree, and maybe you can type why you don't agree or why you agree. But at least I'll be expecting yes and no in the chat. Till now there are no responses. Please go ahead and quickly answer this or give me your opinion. Yeah, Dr. Rupesh sir says he agrees. So you can stop now. The good afternoon and good morning. You can just focus on the presentation, and the answers are expected for the presentation. Others, just one has responded. Others, please respond quickly. Should we assume that they are just logged in, not listening? Yes. The user has responded, agree. So everyone, if you are busy somewhere, please take out your this 1.5 hour and please attend this. And I want response from all the appropriate participants. So this question I'll excuse, and maybe from next question onward, almost on every slide, I'll need your replies, your opinion, as I said earlier. Okay, so Hemant sir has responded. He agrees. Okay, so I'll present some of the slides which will ensure that, which will convince you, those who don't agree and even don't agree, they will get a reason why just saying without any justification. Dr. Sanjay sir has also responded, is not scientific. So we'll prove that. So to prove my points, I have a few slides here. Don't you think this is innovation? If it happens at some big institute like IITs or the Stanfords or some reputed university institute, we'll call it as a cleaning machine without power or human operated cleaning machines, and probably many different names. And this will be considered an innovation. But because if the person was having a degree, probably he wouldn't have dared to have something like this. Again, I look at this picture as some kind of innovation. Carrying the kids safely to the school just on the bicycle, energy efficient vehicle. Again, resources utilization. The innovation, he has replaced the few lakh rupees machine of CCD, which usually you see there, or some malls, with a simple cooker. If you look at all these pictures, these are the all scientific and problem solving abilities. This person, unfortunately, we call it a jugaad. If it happens at some of the reputed institute, we call it the innovation. By calling it a jugaad, it requires a lot of creative thinking. It requires a lot of problem solving approaches for identifying such kind of solution. But we are undermining it just by calling it jugaad. It requires a lot of calculation to be performed. It requires a lot of practical. So this farmer has developed the replantation solution. He picks up the plant and replant it at a different location. Now this is a sowing season, and you understand, एक जगह पे दो पेड़ निकल गए, दूसरी जगह पे एक भी निकला. We can shift that plants from one place to another place in just few seconds. Okay. Though we are calling it a jugaad, but I consider it as an innovation, a scientific, complete scientific approach. Now, let me prove. What do you think? What it takes to be a good scientist? Can you types few capabilities that are required to be a scientist? One, I can give you example, the skill, maybe a patience. And do you agree on this, or you have different opinion? You can share that with me here in the chat. Let me check how many of you will respond now. Everybody is just logged in. Please go ahead and type in chat. Okay, think and see differently. That's very well, Dr. Pranita Jadhav. Thank you. Few more. Yeah, apply scientific knowledge in daily life. Okay. Dr. Dipti Bhagwat ma'am is responding. Only two people are listening. Okay, till the others respond, you all need to respond. Huh? There is no excuse now onward. So till the other respond, let me prove my point. What are the scientific ability? When somebody looks at this picture, probably the first impression that we get is crowd. But when I click this picture in the Vera local, I looked at this picture as there are a lot of examples, a lot of scientific abilities which are demonstrated in this picture. If you carefully look at the picture, you will find that many of the people are enjoying traveling like this. But beside this, there is a huge skill which is required to travel like this, hanging outside without accident. Another skill, another quality of the scientist it requires is the lot of patience, hanging outside for the duration of a traveling, and that too without any accident or without any mishap, requires a lot of skill and patience. So that is what the two people have responded in a chat. I look at it, they are able to think. They have not thought that there is no space to ride a train. They found a solution to ride a train and reach to their destination. They have applied a lot of knowingly, unknowingly, a lot of scientific knowledge, which Dr. Dipti Bhagwat Madam was saying, that applying a lot of patience, skill, and knowledge, and traveling like this. So I look at this picture as the example of patience, example of skill, and many of them are not PhD holder. Still, they have the skill and patience. Rather, none of them is like a PhD or highly qualified, but still they are having demonstrating the skill, the knowledge, even the scientific temper. This farmer, when I looked at the technology the farmer has. Am I not audible? Dipti Bhagwat Madam is saying that I am not audible.
Audible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So again, these are all the example of skill, patience, and scientific knowledge. Don't look at this picture negatively, but if you look at the positive angle of this picture, you will find that there are a lot of patience, that there are a lot of problem solving and critical thinking skills which can be seen into these pictures. So almost every Indian have this knowledge and skills. So please understand. So what are those problem solving and skills? If you look at this picture, I consider if you look at this ad, this is a Mentos ad. Though that ad looks funny, but you will find that in reality, we are practicing this daily. The way we answer the कहाँ पे हो फोन पे जहाँ पे होते हो वो छोड़ के आप दूसरे लोकेशन पे होके भी. So the kid has solved the problem of entering the classroom grade in a different way. He was coming to the classroom and teacher said, अब आ रहे हो, चले जाओ. Then what he has done, he has changed the direction of walking. He is trying to walk reverse. The same teacher another day says, कहाँ जा रहे हो, class में बैठ जाओ. So this is, I think you will find in almost all the students, almost everybody from the previous picture and this slide, we indigenously have this problem solving and critical thinking abilities. that are indigenous. Do you agree on this? Have a yes no in a chat. Then innovation. If you get all the resources, if you put this people, let's say, assume that he is somebody who is not qualified, not literate, he has converted buffalo into elephant with the available resources. He wanted to have elephant, but it was not affordable for him. So he has. I've just taken this social media forwards, but I think I could see a lot of innovation to this. Imagine the person having this approach, this thought process, this problem solving ability, put in the lab, a research lab, has equipped with all the equipments required to solve the problem or address the issue at the hand. I think they will be able to solve those problems with using the resources. Without using resources, scientific skill is more approach than a skill. That approach helps you to build a problem solving skills, they think differently, think scientifically. It is limited to the resources you have. This approach is constrained by the resources. So if these people without resources can think of such solutions, I think it is a problem solving approach. It is critical thinking approach, it's scientific approach. Do you agree with me on this? Okay. So now let us move on and understand the further what it takes. Now we have the approach and we have, let's say, a skill. What next need to be we do need is the logic of approaching the solutions. The approach and the skill, if coupled with the great logic, it helps you to address or solve any scientific problem. I have one Marathi example which I just received on the social media. So the teacher was asking the student why you have not done the homework. The student answers there was no light. Then teacher says, why don't you use the candle? Then the student says there was no matchsticks to light the candle. Then teacher asked why there was no matchstick. ये तो हर घर में होती है. The student says it was kept in the at they were God place. So the teacher says, why don't you take it from there? The student says, I didn't took a bath in the morning. So why? The teacher asks again. The student says there was no water to take a bath. Then teacher says, why there was no water? The student replies, I was not able to turn on the motor pump to put the water in through water tank. The teacher says, why? The student replies, I already told you there was no power. So he has connected this to the power, not doing the homework. We can do, this is one kind of approach. This is a logic to be developed. So I think you can find many students and teachers having this kind of logic. Again, I'm not talking. Then another problem, if you look at the picture, what do you understand from this? When somebody, this is a average female height. The countries where the data was collected was Australia, Scotland, Peru, South Africa, and India. What is your interpretation? If somebody can unmute and speak or type in a chat. What is your interpretation about this slide? Anyone? Dr. Dipti, Dr. Rupesh, Dr. Pranita, anyone out of you? What do you understand? Or what is your opinion from this picture? Maybe the understand is right. What do you feel? If you look at this picture, we have the height on one axis and we have the country on other axis. So look at it, size and depiction are not right. Okay. Dr. Tapani says absolutely right. So this might be misinterpreted as that the Indian women are too short compared to Leviathan Australian or Scotland women. But if you look at the measurements, and the difference between the Indian woman, okay, mismatch in labels and height, okay, that is what Dr. Rupesh feels. If you look at the Indian woman, they are having somewhere height between 5 point, just above the 5.0. Whereas, let us consider the tallest, the Leviathan woman, her height is about 5.5. Even you compare with the South African woman, their height is approximately 5.2. But the depiction here, the way it is represented, it appears that Indian women are short compared to rest of the world or these countries. But if you look at carefully, the difference is just 4 inch. The 4-inch difference is shown in a way that we end up in believing they are too short. So let us take an example. Suppose somebody has done something from a foreign university, a UG, a PG, or a PhD, and the same similar degree is taken from any of the Indian institute, be it undergrad or PG or PhD or a postdoc. Don't you think we look at the same way to those two degrees? The Indian degree or Indian qualification or Indian things we undermine a lot because our mind is trained to value more what is there outside. Let us analyze it from a general perspective, a scientific perspective. Let us not get into any kind of bias. Okay. So another problem, we have linked earning money generally with a negative philosophy, with a negative sense. When somebody has a lot of money, many times it is linked with some of the earning money, as if the earning money is a crime. Earning money is always bad. That is the thought process many times is expressed. So now putting all this together, I wanted to be interactive, but I'm not having courage to take a feedback because there are very few who are responding. So there are 4 things I wanted to take your feedback on. I'll be sharing this link in a chat. Okay, so you need to respond. I'll give 2 to 5 minutes to respond. I am putting the link into chat and then I will share my presentation. There are 4 questions you all need to answer. It's just yes and no. I hope you have received the link in the chat. You can go ahead and scan this QR code as well, or you can directly answer in the chat. You can do anything, whatever you wish to. So there are 4 questions. If you connect that with the teaching learning, the teacher did not teach and the student did not learn. The title is wrong. It should be teaching learning. So teacher did not teach and the student did not learn. आपको कितने को लगता है टीचर ने सिखाए बिना बच्चा सीखता ही नहीं? How many of you feel the teacher taught but the student did not learn? Imagine a situation you taught really well, but the student did not learn. The teacher taught well and the student learned well. The teacher did not teach, yet the student learned well. So you have to answer if this is possible in yes and no form. Okay. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to answer, and then we'll go back again to the presentation. So take your time and give me the answer. Let me check how many responses I have so far. So far only 3 responses. I request everyone to please go ahead and do it quickly. Four responses. 5. So far 8 responses. So I'll move on before explaining this. Here, out of the responses what we received, the teacher did not teach and the student did not learn. ज्यादातर लोगों को लगता है ऐसा नहीं है. Student can learn on their own as well. The teacher taught but the student did not learn. पढ़ाने के बाद में भी समझ में नहीं आता है. Teacher taught well and the student learned well. The last one is quite interesting. The teacher did not teach, yet the student learned well. Now, look at all this from the IKS perspective. Okay, so I'll come back to the answers once everybody responds. Let me check, there are some answers in a chat as well. Done. Okay. So now, these are the preamble which I wanted to share with you. Remember this, the survey, the outcome which I showed you here. I'll come back to this again. Well, so far 12 people have responded. Now, critical thinking ability, I'll skip this in the interest of time. Now, if you look at things, what is the primary purpose of education? If I have to connect this with Indian knowledge system, can somebody answer me in a chat what is the primary purpose of the education? Why? Most of the time, meanwhile I explain, you please answer your opinion in a chat. Most of the time it is either linked with a degree or a job. But the primary purpose as per the IKS or from Indian perspective was always not related to job or degree. It was related to igniting one's mind. The ignited mind can solve many problems. It can address many challenges. It can learn so many things in this world. Okay, so the primary purpose of education should be igniting the minds. So that is another point which I would like to draw here, and then we'll connect all these points and understand IKS from this perspective. What is our philosophy about education? It is sa vidyaya vimukte. Matlab, the knowledge or the vidya which you gain should liberate you from all kinds of misunderstandings that you may or one may have. Okay, somebody is saying that knowledge and skill acquisition is the purpose of education, to know your interest and skill you are best at. That is also a purpose of education. But as per the IKS, Indian knowledge system, let us not call it as IKS or Indian knowledge system only. It is Indian wisdom, which is acquired through the several centuries. So it says that Sa Vidyaya Vimukte, meaning You need to liberate yourself from all kinds of misunderstanding, lack of situation of lack of knowledge. So that lack of knowledge is kind of the bond, or you is bandhan, one kind of. So to liberate from all those bonds, you need to acquire the knowledge. Now let us understand what is the philosophy which is coined around this knowledge and how modern it was, how true it was. So now, if you compare that with the modern world, I am trying to see. It appears that these are the different points which are disconnected. Plus, please be with me. I'm going to connect all these points to the IKS. I talked about the skill. I talked about the scientific ability. I remember what I'm deliberately doing this. Then I talked about the philosophical definition of a knowledge acquisition in India. Then I said that IKS is nothing but a wisdom acquired over the several hundred years together. Now I'm talking about the modern world. So the modern world is predictive. Your smartphone predicts many things about you. When you search something in a Google and visit Amazon, it shows you the different ads or different offers related to what you search. So based on your the the smartphone location setting, sometimes it recommends you the food, sometimes it recommends you the fuel pump, sometimes it recommends you the gym, sometimes it recommends you the hospital. So these are the predictive things. So the artificial intelligence sensor, then the connectivity and the modern analytics, that is what is driving this prediction. So we are living already in a predictive world. The prediction is here. The moment you go to the YouTube channel, it creates a profile based on your historical activities, and it suggests you the different videos. If you log into a YouTube, it suggests a different set of videos. If I log into the video YouTube platform, it suggests me the different video. Okay. So yes, Dr. Deepak sir, I read your answer. I'll put together all the answers at the end. So you can keep posting into chat. I'll definitely have a look at all those things. So we are into a modern world, and this modern world is driven by the technology, and the technologies that are at our disposal are making it predictive. So prediction is almost everywhere. Everybody rather wants to predict. Like a bus operator want to predict how many passengers will be there on the particular day of a year, so that I can have one or two or multiple buses running on that particular route. To a doctor who wants to predict what should be the right medication given to the patient with the current symptoms, so that he gets cured fast. A restaurant owner want to predict what should be the ingredient to be used in a dish, so that maximum people will like the taste. So YouTube or Amazon want to predict what is the buying behavior of the customer. So everywhere you will find this prediction, and that is powered by the technologies, basically three technologies: artificial intelligence, the sensor which gives you the real-time data, say coupled with the 5G and 4G technology, and that data is meaningless unless it is analyzed. The modern analytics draws a lot of insight out of it. That is the world we are living into. Now, where is the IKS into all this? How the IKS is still relevant? As we said, we are into a predictive world, and the IKS seems to be traditional. What is the relation between the IKS and the modern world? Do you have the similar thought process? Or do you have similar thinking, or do you find some real relevance? Can somebody unmute and speak, or type in a chat? Do you find some relevance of Indian knowledge system, so-called, we consider it as a traditional system, to this modern predictive world? Do you think there is a relation? There is some overlap, or they are altogether different aims? They are opposite. What do you think? There is overlap, or they are opposite? Okay, so no one is responding. Please reply in a chat, or you can unmute and speak. Now, in higher education, we have this kind of scenario. So let us, if we make attendance compulsory, we have somewhat this scenarios. Now, let us connect all this with IKS. As I said, I call it as ancient Indian wisdom, or you may call it as Indian knowledge system. Some of the hard facts which we all believe this is the IKS is all about. Many times when I say this word, I came across something which you can read on the slide. Okay, let me check. Somebody's Sachin Bhosle sir has responded that it's a developing ability to analyze. Okay. So just one response. Even you can unmute and speak if you require, if you find typing is tedious. So whenever we say IKS, or whenever I talk on IKS, and if I ask prior questions before the session, these are some of the typical answers I have received so far. It's about mythology, nothing other than God. It's all about religions. It's a religious thing. That is the most typical answers we generally give. Long list of do's and don'ts. ऐसा करिए, सच बोलना चाहिए, झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए, do this, do that. So this is again second popular answer. Long list of do's and don'ts. You do this, you don't do this. This is a prescription for everybody to follow. So, and we are in the modern world. हम तो believe करते हैं my rule, my life. So it doesn't fit. It seems doesn't fit. So it is a matter of blind faith and unscientific. It's just a tradition. Traditionally, we are doing this for years together. These are the typical answers we get. Okay, Sachin sir answered another thing relating it to the ancient Indian side. Let us understand what exactly it is. I will now dive into IKS. I want your attention for next few minutes. So I am going to define what is IKS. So any other thoughts? How many of you believe it is what there it is in on slide? IKS is a mythology. It's a long list of do's and don'ts. It's only about the religion. It's a matter of traditions or a blind faith. It's not so scientific. It is unscientific. Dr. Rupesh is saying it is a rich Indian culture and science. Okay. Okay. So let us try and understand. I'll skip this mycology Western superiority slide in the interest of time. But let us understand it from a different perspective. Here are the key written facts. I am also quoting the references. Key facts about House of Commons. You can also check yourself. These are on the official website. As per the report, in 18th century, around 1830s, 1820s to 1830. So this report says that in India there were 2,57,000 schools in just Bengal province. Another fact the report says that the Vishakhapatnam school was famous for steel making. I'm talking about 1820s to 1830s. The Kangra school was famous for medicine and surgeries. It had more than 35,000 students all across the world. These are the written and the facts with the reference. These are not the assumptions. Literacy rate in India was 97%. These are the facts. Now, if you look at the whole country, there are many interesting facts which I am going to show you. Then we'll try to understand whether they were modern or we are modern with artificial intelligence and data analytics. Let us try and understand. Do you have something which is like the modern knowledge in an Indian knowledge system, or we just need to focus on the modern world? I'll leave the decision to you. Okay, so let us understand the facts first. Look at this picture and compare the current scenario, so-called the modern world. Do you think there is some similarity? In the first picture on the top left, you have the man resting under the tree, maybe in the summer. Imagine the summer in Vidarbha region, right? Then there was a transformation, so-called development, a modern world, and the man is still resting in the shadow, but it's not under the tree. It is the shadow created by the wood structure made out of cutting the trees, right? And you can see the cost. And there are many other dimensions you can find in this picture. Now, whether the Indian knowledge system allows us to do this. Now, if you talk to the environment scientists, the changing weather, the increasing heat, the independable monsoon, the rain in the winter and summer, the cold in the summer. So all this and the life cycle changes into all the species. So if you look at this, I think there is a lot we need to understand. The people we have discovered is the environmentalists, the weather change in the weather, then so rising level of seas was warned, but the way we are lived our life in the past. So I think there is some overlap with the modern science. The people, instead of creating what you see on the bottom right, they focus more on the top left, planting trees and having shadows. Do you think it is possible without science? Understanding the importance of the trees without possible without understanding science behind it, understanding the global warming, the causes of the global warming, and limiting the milking of the nature or exploitation of the nature. So I see a lot of thoughts. If you look at any tradition, you will find some thoughts like this. Now the scientists are talking about the global warming. Okay, so this is very abstract. Now, if you look at academic landscape, in last several decades, we don't have a school which we can feel here. Take a screenshot, analyze yourself. I will not dive deep into the Indian Act. So can we put some name of the school, the school, you can add your university or college name here in the blank space. The college XY was established in the year, you can put, however, for last, let's say 20 years, the university has not produced a single thought leader or technical report. It is not a surprise. Is it? So I'll tell you how many schools and colleges we have in India and how many students we have. Here are the number of colleges and universities I'm showing. This is an official screenshot of a SA website. Okay, so roughly we are around 60,000 schools, colleges, and universities. I'm talking about higher education institutes and about 4.33 crore students going to the school, these universities and HEIs. And the number of teachers are approximately 16 lakhs. Despite of this number, how many numbers you can feel here in this two? The school was established in year, let's say 1950, 10,000 alumni are secured, 5, 10, 15, 20 alumni have secured a Nobel Prize, or has developed a product which has reached to every household in our country and has established a business which employed more than at least 10,000 citizens of the country. How many schools out of this 60,000 we can place here? I think not many. It's not a surprise because we are forgetting our roots and we are trying to link everything with the so-called modern world. Now let us dive deeper into IKS and what IKS tells about this. So now in next 30 minutes, I'll dive deeper into what is IKS. Is it only religious things? It is only about a tradition or it is really scientific? Does the modern science has some relevance with the Indian knowledge system or not? Let us try to understand this one completely scientific perspective. As a teacher, as a scientist, as a aware citizen, let us look at the Indian knowledge system, irrespective of the your faith and belief, what the social system you follow, whether you follow a particular religion or particular tradition, irrespective of everything, look at the Indian knowledge system of a different religion, different traditions from a scientific perspective. That is what I am going to share in the next 30 minutes or so. So, what is Indian knowledge system? Now, Indian knowledge system always believes that knowledge is a power. How many of you agree knowledge is a power? Is knowledge considered as a power? Okay, I have a response. Thank you. Sagar sir, yes. Niti madam says yes. Thank you. Pradeep sir believes yes. Sonali madam says yes. Okay. So knowledge is a power. That is the traditional Indian belief. It is written, it is available in a lot of prescription, it is available in a lot of literature, which is quite reliable. We consider knowledge as a power. And we know nowadays the powerful nation, what they are doing. I need not to name the countries, but I think we all are intellectual and we understand how the power is being used. So generally, power is not what other thing the Indian knowledge system teaches us is power is used to control not others. That is the modern belief. Those who have power, they control the money power, the weapon power, the economy power. There are a lot of powers. So we are talking about knowledge that leads to all this, the weapon, the economy, the money, everything is generated through the knowledge. So this knowledge is used to control, but nowadays, unfortunately, others. But what Indian system believes, Indian knowledge system believes, it is to control self, exercising the self control. That's the primary purpose. That is where we are making a mistake. Let us, I'll produce a lot of scientific evidence of Indian knowledge system. Please be with me. It allows us to freedom from wants. It frees us from creating the surplus. Okay. Now, I'll give one example, but what is the modern world? If we miss the self-control in the knowledge, this is what happens. If I compare the PS hidden person, I don't want to name him because he has killed many of my fellow citizens. Now, if I replace this person, he has a power, he has a knowledge of operating gun. I will replace the person with the AK-47 with, let's say, instead of this terrorist, I have a soldier, Indian soldier, whether he is controlling self, exercising self-control or controlling others with the gun. That is what the IKS is. That is a fundamental philosophy of IKS. The power is used to control self. So if you use power to control others, you are going ahead with this. There are many examples. These are few typical examples on the screen. But if you miss this ethics, moral, and self-control, the missing self-control leads to such things. If you have power and there is no self-control, that is what happens. Okay. Now, with this knowledge, the self-control knowledge, now you'll say this is a modern world, and in modern world you need to earn the money, and it is not possible with ethics and morals or self-control. But mind you, this is official statistics of World Economic Forum, World Economist Histories and Statistics, published in 2003, which says that the GDP of India, not GDP of India, contribution of India in global GDP was about 33 to 34% in 1757. Do you think it is possible without exports? Do you think it is possible without the best of the best quality products? You use Apple iPhone and many other. Do you think it is possible without best of the products? And unfortunately, we lost many of these skills, many of these things during British rule. So with self-control, we can have share of more than 30% in a global GDP, imagine what it could lead to nowadays with the modern technology. Now, as I said earlier, knowledge is power. If it is having mismatch with the values and moral, that days, these days, what used to happen is there were a lot of people who were not having this moral and ethical values. If suppose I have a weapon and that weapon is with the terrorist, naturally it is going to be misused. Similarly, whatever knowledge, be it about the social life, be it his personal life, be it about the chemistry, physics, maths, anything, the weather, if the knowledge or the medicine, if the knowledge with the wrong person, suppose I know the plant which can cure a disease, but I am not a moral or ethical person, I will cut that tree and put it in my house and charge for people for what do you I think there are recent evidences of pandemic which happened like this. For earning money, I'll sell the natural thing at the I'll create a monopoly and sell it at the price which I want, which is not means I am using this knowledge to control others in unethical manner. But Indian knowledge system followed one typical thing, that is Shruti Parampara. Many times there is allegation why it is not in a black and white form, why it is not in the form of research article, why it is not in the form of books, why it is not the form of so the things which can be understood by the common person. But as we all agreed, we consider knowledge is power, and if power is with the unethical person, it leads to disaster. Okay, that's why there was a tradition, what we call Shruti Parampara. What does this means? Unless you get assurance that a person whom you are trying to transfer the knowledge is completely ethical and he is having high level of morals, will not transfer this knowledge. That's why the oral tradition is followed. We believe knowledge किसी को नहीं मिला तो चलेगा, लेकिन it should not end in the wrong hands. That's why we had this Shruti Parampara. But in nowadays, in the world of citations and the impact factors and all this, it has no value. But I'll give evidences how scientific it is. How scientific it is compared to the modern world. So be with me. Nowadays, how many of you believe modern world is like everything is fair in love and war? And I'm talking about a particularly ethical part of the Indian knowledge system. I'll give you one example. I'm confident that you will all agree it was not the case in Indian context. So, do you think today in the modern world we have this philosophy which says that everything is fair in love and war? Do you think that is knowingly, unknowingly being practiced? Yes. Yeah, there are a few responses. Jyoti madam responded, Dr. Rupesh sir has responded, Dr. Suchita madam has responded. Okay, so let me show you example. I need your attention for reading. You have to read something and best is which I'll ask the similar question. Okay, so here is example from the written Indian history known to each one of you. The incidence is from it is a historical event in 1667. The Bijapur governor, then now the place around Kalyan, Mullah Ahmad, Shivaji Maharaj soldier, Abaji Tatte, Abaji Sodev, defeated him, and he was having beautiful daughter-in-law. I think this is a very well-known story. Now, the Abaji sent the daughter to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to Pune as a gift during the raid in Kalyan. So what Shivaji Maharaj, it was a war. It was not a regular diplomatic visit to the Kalyan. It was a war, during war. in war, I'm not talking about Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any other battle for that matter. I'm talking about the modern world, what we call, and how what was the Indian tradition. Due to this Shruti Parampara, Shivaji Maharaj not only punished the Sardar, but after a due apologies and gave bestowing the required honor to the young beautiful lady, he sent her back to her home in Bijapur with an escort. And you know the statement, it's a quite famous statement made by Shivaji Maharaj, right? So that is what the Indian culture is. Now, if you go to the villages, imagine a scenario where you, let's say you are traveling and you have a small baby with you and you need a milk for a baby. You stop at the village where the people are not so literate, they are not so qualified, maybe remote village, and you demand a milk to the farmer or anybody like the poorest person in the village that you need a milk to feed your baby. And the same thing, while traveling on a highway, you go to the five-star restaurant or any place for that matter or any house for that matter and demand a milk, ask for a milk, request for the milk, and imagine the scenario where you will get free and with the warm milk with the things you would like to add, maybe a turmeric or whatever jaggery, and it is generally provided free. Where you will get free? A village or the five-star hotel? What do you think? Any quick answers? Is it not about ethics? Is it not about Indian knowledge system? I think the two of them given the answer that is in a village. Of course, village, Gauri madam is responding, right? So is it without possible without having that association? It is without having that culture. It is having without that tradition. I remember my grandfather died in 2018 at the age of 109, and he couldn't believe till his last breath that the water is sold at a 10 rupees per bottle, 20 rupees per bottle. It was unbelievable for him. I remember scolding me or my aunt, my mother, taking left and right for selling milk and ghee to, to those who need it for medicine, those who need it when they are not well, keeping well, and some doctor or Vaidya advise them to have a milk or a ghee or curd or anything or particular kind of grains. And if you sold that or we charge some money to them, like I was about to get beaten. How can you do this? Somebody is not well and you are charging them money instead of helping them out. That was a tradition. That is what the Indian knowledge system. Do you think it is just limited to a particular religion? Do you think it is particularly related to a particular community? It was all there across the country, right? That is what all we need to relearn. That is what actually Indian knowledge system. I'm not just, this is just a tradition. I'm not just talking about a tradition today. I'm diving deep into a scientific traditions as well. The science and scientific things to maybe equivalent to the Nobel Prizes. I have a few examples in next few slides. Please be with me. Do you think that is what we need today? We have a lot of money, but we have low moral and low ethics, unnecessary surgeries, unnecessary insecticide, pesticide. There are ample examples of unethical practices that we are following. Was it there in our culture? What do you think? Is it our culture? Or our culture is helping, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam, helping each other to live a better life? Okay. So that is what the IKS is all about. This is about the social life. Let me give you a complete scientific example of biotechnology. So biotechnology word is coined in the recent past, last 25, 20 years, 30 years, right? I hope everybody agrees on this. We started something called biotechnology recently. Recently means last 30, 35 years. So if you look at, I think you all those who are about 30-35 years of age, they must have seen such kind of pickles. Can somebody answer me how many days it lasts outside the fridge? A simple question. If your dadiji or your naniji has made the pickle, for how many days they used to keep in this jar, what we call it as jinimati. So this jar, how many days they used to keep without a need of refrigeration? All ladies here, anybody can answer please? For how many days they used to keep it without fridge? At least 2 years, okay, with a proper precaution. Okay, sir. Even more, say 4 to 5 years, Sonali madam is responding. 4 years together. Now, we have modern biotechnology. We have a lot of preservatives. We have a lot of advanced so-called chemistry things with us for preservation of the food. If you buy a pickle from the market and keep it outside the fridge, how many days you can keep without need of refrigeration? You can answer yourself. So, ये pickle कैसे बनाया जाता है? Do you remember that process? I remember my grandmother and my mother making a pickle. They used to cut the mango fruit from the tree only when there was a close rain. Of Murug, generally in June first week or second week. उस वक्त बारिश भी 8 जून को शुरू होती थी, 7 जून को मृग नक्षत्र. Now, कब बंद होगी, कब स्टार्ट होगी, कोई पता नहीं. That is again another altogether different dimension. Then there was a treatment process. Once the mangoes are brought to the home, the way they were cut, the processing, immersion of water, putting the cut mango in the water, then treatment with only 3 ingredients: turmeric, salt, and what was the third ingredient? Can somebody name the third ingredient? Rai mori. In Hindi, Rai, or in Marathi, we call it mori. These were the only 3 ingredients. Now, there is a research article in the so-called Advanced Biotechnology Journal, that is Journal of Food Science and Technology, published in 2017, which says that such pickles are prebiotic and probiotic both. That means, do you think making this pickle is possible without knowing the science behind it? What do you think? Is it possible to have this recipe, this prescription of making pickle, which works, and consuming that pickle in a daily meals is without scientific evidence, without scientific background? We undermine it because it was orally transferred. Even our so-called illiterate ladies were doing biotechnology in their kitchen. That's the power of Indian knowledge system. You need to look at this from this scientific perspective. So this pickle is prebiotic, which aids your digestion. In modern world, we have made a prebiotic and probiotic. On an average, they are costing you 500 rupees per person per month. Whereas this cost PQ naturally derived, natural ingredient, no synthetic material, it costs you few hundred rupees for an entire family for a year. So tell me, which is more deep science? A science which can be understood by even almost illiterate person, or a science which requires a PhD to understand it. Okay. Okay. Now you need to choose what to follow. I'll leave it to you. Do you think it is unscientific or it is scientific? Can I have quick answers in chat? Do you think there is a science behind this, or this is just by chance? Is there a science? It's scientific. Okay, thank you, Rupesh sir. I have all the examples. This is just in a food science. I have 10, 15 such examples. Okay, now let us move on. Dipti madam and Sonali madam also saying it's scientific. It can't be achieved just by chance. For years together, rather centuries together, we have been doing this and consuming now. Generally, it is advised that not to have this vehicle. That's too. Sorry, excuse me. This is true for the so-called modern world biotechnology-based vehicle, which is made with a lot of preservatives and chemical. It causes various diseases. It is not true, not applicable for the naturally grown mango and treated with a traditional recipe. Okay, so this is a general. I'm not saying this. This is the opinion of the scientists working in the field. Okay. Now, so this iron and steel is quite deep. I'll skip this. I'll come to the only simple things, which is there in every household. Can you recognize these ingredients? Can somebody unmute and speak or type in chat? What are those ingredients you see in the picture? Anybody knows the names of these two ingredients? In Marathi, Hindi, whatever language you know, because in India, every 100 kilometers, yes, Bajri. Bajri. What about the picture on the right? Yeah. What about the picture on the right? Last year, we have celebrated the International Year of Millet. Again, I'm going back to your Kharodi. Yeah, Mungoli. Imagine कोरोना उस वक्त आया होता जो हमने सब्जी के लिए लाइन लगाई, टमाटर के लिए लाइन लगाई. Would these people face that problem? Let us take a crude example. I remember my grandmother and mother had enough food grains for at least a year. अगले साल अगर फसल ठीक से नहीं आई, that was not just a collection of grains. That was just not a collection of different food items. It was so scientific. कौन से महीने में क्या खाना चाहिए? So millet, different types of millet. I hardly remember anybody using bharda today. So calmly. So we need to be told now again what to eat. Whereas our grandmother was knowing when to use Vajri, when to use sorghum, that is jawar, when not, when to use fried items, and all those were connected to the seasons. Let us forget festival because that gets into a religious thing which I want to strictly avoid. Though I follow certain religion, but I think everybody has a different faith. But look at from the completely scientific angle: what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. That was defined. घर में दूध किसी को हल्दी के साथ में देना है, किसी को ब्लैक पेपर के साथ में देना है, किसको अदरक के साथ में देना है. That was personalized. It was not like today everybody has the same thing. So this millet, I'll show you one survey. Let me stop this presentation and show you something on it. I'll show you some Government of India survey. Is my slide still visible? Sorry, the screen visible? Can somebody confirm please if my screen is visible? So yeah, I have some answer. Yes. I have searched something in front of you. That is National Family Health Survey 5. It was conducted between 18 to 21. So earlier, if you look at the anemia is increased by 4%. Earlier it was 54%. Now it is 59%. government had to launch this campaign, this mission, that is Anemia Mukta Bharat. Now, if you go back to this, the people who consume this kind of millets, they never had any kind of anemia. The anemia percentage was just 3 to 7%. Now the government has spent almost all governments. I'm not referring to any particular party. So almost all government spends approximately 1% of GDP last 2 years, around 30,000 crore on the nutrition security, Rashtriya Poshan Abhiyan. So that is ongoing for last 60-70 years. Instead of, we have reached to almost 60% anemia from 3 to 7% after spending such a huge amount. So tell me now, was this scientific? Growing those particular crops, processing those crops. Now the food industry, ready to cook and ready to eat Maggi masala. And there are many brands. I don't want to specifically mention any brand, but this is where they're ready to eat. Can you eat karodi without cooking? Can somebody, those who have had this, I'll say the privilege of having this karodi, can they tell me, do you need a cooking when you want to eat? Or you can directly take out it from the container and eat directly. Ready to cook and ready to eat. So these are the things which we are practicing, ready to eat as well as ready to cook. That is not the modern world. This is already there in Indian knowledge system. No need to cook, that is what Sucheta madam is saying, right? So please understand, this is a food perspective. Previous I showed you the biotechnology, which was not there in existence across the world, but still we are, our grandmother, great grandparents were practicing biotechnology. Nowadays, we feel many of us don't understand what is biotechnology even today. They are practicing in their daily life. So these are the millets, because of which there were no calcium deficiencies. It's not just the beautification of the food, the way we do it nowadays, and we do a wrong combination of food. The best is ice cream after the meal, or custard and apple food, milk and food eating together. Ayurveda considers a poison. So this will never, person consuming this in a particular month as prescribed in the Indian system will never have the calcium deficiency. Remember, मुंह में पानी आ गया होगा when we used to consume this, right? So such a rich was our culture. It is so scientific when to it. Now the person named Dr. Khader Wali has won the Padma Shri for his exemplary contribution in identifying what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat, which was our regular tradition. Right? So he called it Siri Danya. And this, look at this chart, it is all scientific. It has all the lab reports. So there are Siridanya, he called it is Siridanya and positive grains. What are those positive grains? Those who are a senior farmer here today, I don't know if there are any senior farmer here who has used the crop you see on the picture in the slide. Bharda, in Maharashtra, Maharashtrian भाषेत सांगायचं झालं तर आपण त्याचे आळताच करायचो, कराळ, भारड्या, and that was consumed in every house. If you look at this, the positive grains, neutral grains, and negative grains. Yes, sir. Thank you, Sujata ma'am. I think you can correlate to this. Now, even the kids have acidity. Kids have diabetes. Kids are being, जो disease 10-15 गांव में एक को होता था, वो अभी एक गांव में 10-15 को हो रहा है. Diseases like cancer, diabetes, and anemia. You name the disease and you have the patient almost in every look at it. Because what we are eating, you can look at the bottom of the slide, these are the negative grains. there is a prescription. आपको याद होगा when we used to eat this only on the days of the festival, Diwali, Dashera, Eid, whatever it is, whatever festival you follow. Otherwise, you used to use neutral or positive grains. The dishes made out of this. Okay. So this is not possible without science. आजकल तो टोमेटो और ओनियन के रेट से सरकार बदलती है, but we had storage of all this in this form, ready to eat and ready to cook form. So all these required ingredients were stored in the house. Okay, so here you can see the examples how the grains were stored without refrigeration. So I don't know how many of you seen this. This is typical of Maharashtra. I don't know in other states if there are some participants, but this is made out of the nirguli and the dung, cow dung particularly. I'm not going asking you to go back and make this, but at least study scientifically what are the characteristics of this cow dung and the nirguli plant, which repels the insect. We can keep the all your grains safe from these bugs. Okay, there is a lot of science in this. Somebody comes with the insecticide and pesticide for a particular crop, what we call a herbicide, weedicide, and so many insecticide and pesticide in the farm. But these people have made this storage with a zero technology, and still it was quite scientific, highly scientific, not quite scientific, it's highly scientific, right? So this is about this example. If you look at, these are two philosophers, the Chanakya and the Michivali. Again, I will go back to the slide which I showed you, the height of comparing the height of Indian women with an African American woman. The similar thing is also here. The Michivali has written a similar theories in 1469, and Chanakya has done it in 1372, 283 BCE, thousands of years before the Michivali. But globally, Arya Chanakya is known as Indian Michivali, not Michivali as European Chanakya. So T.S. Eliot का एक sentence मुझे यहाँ पे काफी relevant लगता है, and the T.S. Eliot says Indian philosopher को अगर देखें उनके सामने अगर European philosopher को compare करें, so it appears that they are school kids, but we trust them more. I'll give now. Okay, this is enough about the food and biotechnology, where we advance in some other thing. Let us study about the music. So there is a John Hopkins is one of the top hospital in the world. Now let us look at, this is the link. Everybody please pay attention. I am going to have some question after this. So they have Center for Music and Medicine. And if you look at, they are using a classical Indian music for a music therapy. So, do you think it is possible to compose a music which can cure the disease without knowing the science of music and the human body and the nature and the so many things? It is multidisciplinary field. We are in NEP, we are talking about the multidisciplinary. So don't you think the IKS was multidisciplinary? Can I have answered what do you think the IKS was multidisciplinary? I mentioned one exception here. The one exception is what we call DJ. आजकल music मतलब DJ हो गया. So except that DJ, the Indian music, so it is scientifically proved. Here you can see another example. Yes, sir, Rupesh sir, healing music production is big industry. Yes, I agree with you. So here are the scientific articles called raga therapy, and it is in 400 BC. It's not modern. So that time we were knowing the healing power of Indian classical music. So it's not only about the particular religion. You have everything, all Indian music. Maybe a ghazal, maybe a folk, it may be a classical. It not stick to a particular religion across the spectrum of the society. Okay. So what are the ragas to treat the psychological disease? There are various diseases which can be treated with music. So there are some hospitals who are really coming up with the division for a music therapy. Now, let us understand how scientific it was. Now, the yoga. I'll skip this. I'll just show you the science. These people have studied and found that it is Vipassana, yoga, Tai Chi, and the meditation technique practice in Islam in India. They were known as they are molecule of science, effect of meditation on epigenetics. And epigenetics is the basic building block which either decides a particular genetic structure will lead to a disease or healthy lifestyle or healthy body. So I'm assuming that there are no biotechnologies. So I'm in general, epigenetics is the same gene, whether it will perform like a terrorist or a soldier in your body. That is what basically the epigenetics is. Now, so the tradition, which was known to almost everyone, is a science, is a deep science, not a superficial. Now, the Stanford University has a course called Food and Health. I'll show you something which is comparable. Stanford is like highly rated university in the world. There is no doubt about it. So if you look at the course is not superior than this. Ajibaisa Batua. This Batua were having more remedies than this course. I'm not trying to compare that the Stanford is superior or inferior, but I'm trying to give you some facts. I don't want to compare. I don't think it is comparable, right? So the grandmother was knowing more remedies what we need to learn by paying few million rupees nowadays. Taking a course at Stanford of 4 credit is costing a huge, but that was available at every house. पेट दर्द होने के बाद में क्या करना है, सर दर्द होने के बाद में क्या करना है, बट वेट लॉस के लिए क्या करना है, प्रेग्नेंट लेडीज ने क्या खाना चाहिए, मेल में क्या, बॉडी बिल्डिंग के लिए क्या खाना चाहिए, वेट लूज करने के लिए क्या खाना चाहिए, everything was known to. So the science was such a simple, made such a simple, it was so real, so practical that everybody was practicing that, not just writing a research papers. Nobody has maybe written a research article. It was not cited by anyone, but it was made so simple, it was in a practice into day-to-day life. That is what the IKS is all about. It's not just mere limited to particular research paper and journals. So if you look at these ingredients, if you compare that with any modern medical shop or pharmacy shop, what do you call it as, you will find that the kitchen was more powerful, having more powerful remedies than any of the modern medical shops today. So we were knowing the uses of these ingredients, when to use, how to use, in what quantity, what dose, we call it matra. Right? So, another, genetic engineering. Again, we have discovered in last 10-15 years, genes, certain genes are responsible for certain diseases. Now, we in Marathi, in Maharashtra, we say that when somebody is trying to get married, their paternal uncle should not be the same, from same consideration. They should not have the, we call it in Maharashtra, Mamku Ek Naku. How many are You agree on this? That this is a tradition of Maharashtra? A similar tradition might be there in other state as well, but I am not aware. Yes, it is, Dr. Rupesh sir is saying. Have you heard this tradition? Only Rupesh sir is listening, others are just silent. Yeah, the same Dipti madam, Suchita madam. So now, what is this tradition? Is it possible without making such tradition, making such rule for getting married without knowing science behind it? The science behind it says that if the people having same maternal uncle, मामकुड एक असेल तर, the such marriages, the offspring which we get has a lot of diseases like the genetic diseases, even the cancers. They are on the rise in such marriages. Is it possible without knowing the science? Is it not Indian culture? Is it not an Indian knowledge system? Let us not call it a tradition. Okay, so these are the few facts. You name the field. Fortnightly fasting. Effect of fortnightly fasting. उपवास करने का 15 दिन के बाद एक एकादशी. In many religion way of fasting, almost you consider Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, you have fasting at a particular year, time in a particular year, particular period of year. Okay, the Japanese scientist has proved that in 2016, for which he has received a Nobel Prize, that fasting leads to something called autophagy, which kills the cell which causes cancer. That's why आजकल हम फास्टिंग कितना करता है अपने आप सोचो ऑन कैंसर के केसेस कितने हो रहे हैं वो कंपेयर करो probably you'll find. Do you think making this tradition of fasting in all religion in India is possible without knowing the science behind it? Is it just a tradition? Is it just a spirituality? It's just a religion? It's way beyond that. It's a real deep science. Okay. So now let me show you another example. Unfortunately, many of the Indian doesn't know about this. This is a Jantar Mantar. If you visit the site, Jantar Mantar, you will find that some similar construction, what you see in the slide. The few scientific fact about the Jantar Mantar, it was constructed in 1724 and 1730 by Maharaja Savai Jai Singh. So what the Jantar Mantar, it is a space observatory. The shadow of the particular construction indicates the position of the various planetary position. Where is the sun? Where are the different planets? Where is the earth? Where is the moon and their rotation speed? Do you think it is possible to construct such a infrastructure without knowing the astrology, astronomy, the space science, what we call today? They were so perfect. शायद हमने उसको राहु केतु बोला होगा, but calculation तो perfect था. The solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse happens exactly precisely.
Okay, sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we have to.
Yes, sir. I'm running in 5 minutes.
Yeah, sir. Please.
Okay. So, you name the field, the Colosseum and the Padma. The Colosseum is a simple structure, but the Padma has the fresh water in the middle of the sea, right? So all this, even you consider Tithi calendar, the mathematics into that is such a deep, it's better than astrology. So you consider anything, there are so many scientific things in civil engineering, medical field, agriculture, food, the family system, the social structure, they are very scientific, and that's what basically the Indian knowledge system is. You really need to understand from this scientific perspective, come out of all the misconceptions we have attached to it, and understand what is the real Indian knowledge system. There are so many examples. In the interest of time, I'll stop here, and what is missing, linking that to we are linking all this to the capitalism, not to the business, and we are using the resources like this. We are not forming interdisciplinary team. The NEP is, the food is connected to the health is connected to the agriculture, and agriculture connected to the society. That is what the basically multidisciplinary, which is envisioned by the NEP. So this is what all about Indian knowledge system, which I understood so far and shared with you. Thank you for joining today and attending my session. So I have a few prescriptions which I'll skip in the interest of time. Keep in mind, this one day will always remain one day to start practicing the Indian knowledge system. You have to make today as a day one. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Participants, if you have any kind of questions or the queries, then please ask to Professor Bothe, sir. If anyone, please. Yes, is there anyone? So I think there is no queries. So if you could permit, shall we conclude, sir?
Yes, sir. Please.
So on behalf of the Malvi Mission Teacher Training Centers and Gadge Baba Amravati University, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Santosh Bhothe sir for being with us, enlighten us, and motivate us towards this adoption of Indian knowledge system. So really, on the basis of the scientific things that has been available with our literature, with our technology, and with our daily things, that should be inculcated in our curricula, and that are the based on the scientific and rational thinking. Yesterday, on the Friday, when we have conducted a session of IKS, some of the queries of the participants are raised that this only based on mythical things, but not, friends. It is not based on the mythical things as sir has today explained. It is totally based on the scientific and rational thinking, and the IKS really it will be inculcated, and we should proudly express our technology, our ancient technology, our ancient literature, and our culture towards the country, not only towards the country, towards the universe. So, sir, we are really thankful to you for enlighten us and given us the pathway towards implementation of this IKS through our routine system, and that should be inculcated in our curricula. So I once again extend my heartfelt thanks to Professor Bothe sir, and with kind consent of Professor Bothe sir, I would like to declare that this lecture will be end here, and we will continue for the next lecture. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, Professor Bhagat sir. Hello, Dr. Amol Bhagat sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your voice is little bit low, sir.
I'm audible.
Yeah, sir. Now it is audible, sir. Now it is audible.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So shall we continue, sir? If you could permit.
Yes, yes.
So, friends, good afternoon, one and all. Good afternoon once again. As today's session, we have already announced that today's session we are splitting into two lectures, and first we have already conducted that is based on the Indian knowledge system. Now the second and most important thing is that the journey of this higher education, not only higher education, of course all educations from school education to higher education PGP is now drastically changes, and the importance of this information and communication technology has been drastic changes in this national in this educational era. So friend, it is expected from the all the faculty members as well as the research scholar or the other key stakeholders who have engaging in this HEIs and performing the duties or of teaching, learning, research, and other administrative work. They should adopt these technologies, that is the information and communication technology. So out of whatever maybe the faculty members or the scholars are available here, they are using the technology in very well manner. But now the recent technology, that is AI, artificial intelligence, has changed paradigmatically change this landscape of higher education, landscape of technology, and bring innovative and innovative tools as well as the methodology to inculcate in our HEIs and adopt this technology. So to demonstrate or mentor towards this technology, today we have with us a very great senior and eminent personality, Professor Dr. Amol Bhagat sir. Sir, I extend my warm welcome to you. Friends, Professor Amol Bhagat sir is at present working as a assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, Professor Ram Meghe, College of Engineering and Management, Badnera, that is affiliated to the Amravati University. Sir has more than 20 years of teaching as well as the research experience in the domain of soft computing, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, medical image processing, and the data analysis. Friends, he has published more than 50 research papers in the Scopus as well as the Web of Science and the Google and 100 research papers in the reputed journal like as the Scopus and the Web of Science. He has written 4 books and 8 book chapters. He has completed 5 minor research projects and 1 major research project. He has filed 23 patents. Out of 3 patents have been granted by the government of India. He has received n number of awards also out of which some of the couple of awards are received in the international as well as the national conference. Being an expert, he has delivered more than 100 sessions in the FDPs, different workshop and short-term programs. He has also chaired the sessions of international conferences and delivered keynote speakers also. Today he will demonstrate and mentor us towards the adoption of these artificial intelligence tools in education and research. So I will not take much more time, sir. We are eagerly waiting to hear you. I again extend my warm welcome to you and request you to start with your session. So please.
Thank you, sir, for this warm introduction. So first I will share my screen. I think screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So in today's session, as sir has already introduced, that we'll be discussing about various artificial intelligence tools that we can use in education as well as research, right? So first I will start with general introduction. What are the different category of AI tools available for education and research? Then I will list out some of the most popular tools which are available as a different AI platforms which can be incorporated in education and research field. And then I will demonstrate one of the most popular tool that most of us are recently using, right? And how that tool can be used to create your research articles, right? So basically, these AI tools have been increasingly integrated into our education to enhance learning experiences, as well as you can give personalized instructions. Even you can streamline the administrative task. So there are certain categories of these tools which are available. So as you can see in this slide, the first category is nothing but adaptive learning platforms. So where uh, different AI algorithms or artificial intelligence algorithms can be applied to analyze students' learning patterns, right? And by analyzing the student learning pattern, we can tailor educational contents which can be delivered to these students. Even these platforms can adapt as per the student needs, as well as they can offer the personalized learning pathways to the students. The second category is nothing but intelligent tutoring systems. You might have been using in your college campuses, probably ERP, or might be you have already used Google Classrooms, right, to share notes or maybe some study material. So these intelligent tutoring systems employs AI to provide personalized instructions, feedbacks, and guidance to the students. So these systems can simulate one-on-one tutoring experiences Even they can adjust the learning pace based on the students' progress, right? So even live tracking of student progress can be provided through this platform. So student as well as the tutors or these instructors, faculty can analyze the student progress through these platforms. There are certain language learning apps. Again, these are the artificial intelligence powered language learning apps, which can employ natural language processing, where you can give the instructions through text-based queries, or even you can give speech-based queries to these apps. And it also incorporates machine learning algorithms to provide the personalized language experiences. Even they offer features like feature recognition, grammar correction, and interactive exercises. So that was the third category. Next one is the virtual classrooms. So basically, these virtual classroom platforms can be utilized for various purposes, such as facilitating real-time collaboration, automatically grading assignments, as well as you can analyze the engagement of the students through these virtual classroom. You can give different tasks to the students, and after observing how they are completing those tasks, you can observe their engagement into the contents that you are delivering through the virtual classrooms. Then there are different content creation tools. Again, these are the AI driven tools which can be utilized by the educators in generating educational materials such as quizzes, worksheets. Even you can generate the lesson plans. You can also call it as teaching plans. So these content creation tools can automate the content creation processes and provide suggestions for improving instructional materials to the student. Uh, you might have utilized these plagiarism detection softwares, right? So basically, if you go through the plagiarism detection in the research domain, so mostly the two tools are utilized, that is Authenticate and Turnitin for plagiarism detection. Other open source options are available, but they not show you the exact plagiarism or the actual plagiarism because their database or data set is limited. They are not connected with the multiple publication platforms. So these detection tools, as all of you might be aware of, these can help educator to identify instances of academic dishonesty by comparing student work against a vast database of academic resources. So even you can identify the previously submitted documents which comes into this same domain of your maybe research article or the work that has been submitted by your student as a research column, right? Then there are tools which falls in the category of student performance analytics platforms. So these platforms can be utilized to identify learning gaps. Even they can predict automatic outcomes. You might be aware about in our syllabus, there are course objectives, outcomes, which can be specified, and we have to do the mapping between your course outcomes, course objective, and program outcomes. So these analytical tools, student performance analytical tools, provide uh, the direct platform where you can map the academic outcomes. Even they can provide insights for the instructional improvements to the students. Then there are chatbots or virtual assistants which are available. Again, this can be utilized for uh, giving the uh, answers to the questions. Okay, so you can ask different questions which falls in the database of such tools. So those tools can generate direct answers to such questions. Even you can have guidance on course materials, and you can offer personalized recommendations for further learning resources. So it falls in the category of chatbots and virtual assistants. Then there are another category of tool which is called as grading and assessment tools. So as its name suggests, which can be utilized for giving the grades to the students for their submitted assignments. Even you can create exams as well as assessment for the students through these tools. You can create quizzes, you can create exams. Those exams can be proctored one, or it can be objective one, it can be descriptive one, right? So through such assessment or examination, you can provide instant feedback to the students. So you can save your time there, educators' time, on grading the task which has been assigned as an assessment to the students. Then there are different emotion recognition systems. Recently, these has been added or integrated into the different virtual platforms through which instruction materials can be provided. So this emotion recognition system can analyze the student facial expressions and vocal tones to know in what manner they are getting the instruction material and how how much they are involved in the learning activities. So this information can help the instructors to adjust their teaching strategies to better support students' emotional well-being. So these are the different categories. So these AI tools have potential to revolutionize the education by providing personalized learning experiences. Even they can improve the overall teaching effectiveness as well as understanding of course material by the students or the learners, right? So even you can improve the administrative efficiency by utilizing such tools, right? So one by one, now we'll discuss what are the different options we have available under these categories. Okay, so first category that I have listed on the earlier slide was adaptive learning platforms, right? So inside the adaptive learning platforms, you have these different tools available. That is Newton. You can directly search these tools basically, right? So their downloads are available. So you can download and use these tools, right? Some of the tools are free to use, some of the tools are paid one, right? But you can explore what are the different functionalities provided by these tools. So this Newton is one of the pioneering adaptive learning platform. It analyzes student performance data as well as behavior to provide the personalized recommendations and adjust the difficulty level of content according to the learner's capability, right? So it is basically partnered with the educational publishers and institutions to integrate adaptive technology into various learning materials and platform. The another adaptive learning platform is Dreambox Learning. So it is mostly used and designed for the students of schools, right? That is from KG to 8th standard students. So it uses different AI algorithms to assess students' mathematical abilities, right? Even it can identify the learning gaps, and even it can give the personalized math lessons. So this Dreambox Learning has vast contents of mathematics subjects from standard uh, up to the standard 8, right? The next platform is LCASE. So it is assessment and learning in knowledge spaces. So LCASE is adaptive learning platform. It is supported and developed by the McGraw-Hill Education. You might be aware about what is McGraw-Hill Education. So it publishes various books in engineering domain as well as for higher secondary education as well as primary educations, right? So it is developed by this McGraw-Hill Education. It offers personalized math and chemistry courses. Okay, this LCASE is the platform provided by the McGraw-Hill Education. So even it has certain contents which can be utilized by the higher education students. So it uses adaptive questioning to assess the student knowledge level and deliver targeted instructions to fill the learning gaps. The next tool is the Smart Sparrow. The Smart Sparrow, again, it is e-learning platform. It allows an educator to create interactive adaptive online courses. It provides tools for building personalized learning experiences, including assessments, simulations, branching scenarios. So even this Smart Sparrow tool is utilized by most of the universities and educational institutions worldwide. The next adaptive learning platform is IXL Learning. So it offers again a platform for math subjects, language arts, science, social studies education, right? It provides personalized practice exercises, real-time feedback, even detailed progress reports of the students can be generated through this platform, and it can be utilized by the students of uh, primary education as well as up to the 12th standard students. So it adapts curriculum to meet each student's individual learning needs as well as objective. The last adaptive learning platform example is Cerego. So it uses basically space repetition and retrieval practice to optimize long-term learning. It adapts its learning content based on students' mastery levels, and even to retain the learners or students in the course. It has different functionalities available within it. It ensures efficient and effective learning. So this tool is also popular in most of the educational institutions. Even it is used for corporate training, right? So when students are getting placed and they go through undergoing through various training after their selection. So such trainings can be provided through this tool. The next category we have listed on the previous slide was ITS, that is Intelligent Tutoring System. So here are certain examples. First one is the cognitive tutor, right? So it is developed by the Carnage Learning. So it is used for teaching mathematics subjects. It provides personalized instruction. Even I think it provides feedbacks hints to students based on their individual learning needs. It uses AI-based algorithms so that it can analyze the human learners or students and then provide the proper mathematical instructions. Right? The same tool that we have listed inside the adaptive learning platform can also be utilized as the intelligent tutoring system, that is ALKS, that is assessment, learning, and knowledge in spaces. Right? So the same thing is there. It can be utilized for maths and chemistry lessons, uh, and you can analyze the student progress throughout the course. Okay. So the next, sorry, I think this Sherlock. Okay, so scalable, highly efficient reasoning for learning optimization, right? Optimization and knowledge. That Sherlock is basically uh, intelligent tutoring system. I think it is developed by Worcester Polytechnic Institute. It provides personalized tutoring in physics subject by analyzing student problem solving strategies, and it also analyzes the misconceptions of various physics related concepts. Right? And it utilizes the NLP, that is natural language processing, which is the one of the part of AI domain or machine learning domain to analyze the student responses, and it can give the feedback, interactive or targeted feedback to the learner. The next tool is the auto tutor. It is again an ITS which provides conversational tutoring in various subjects like physics, computer programming, history. It has more subjects. The list is very big, so it engages student through natural language dialogues. It can ask questions. It provide explanations. So these are the different functionalities provided by this auto tutor. Then there is Learn Lab Cognitive Tutors. So it is developed by the Carnegie Mellon University, and they are utilizing in their university to provide the tutorials for algebra, geometry, chemistry, right? So again, it utilizes the machine learning algorithms. It models the students as a cognitive process, and it adapt to the instructions given by the tutors. Then there is MathSpring, as you can see, as its name suggests, it is MathSpring, so it is made for the mathematical subject. So again, it is an intelligent tutoring system. It is developed by Orchestra Polytechnic Institute and Rutgers University. It offers personalized tutoring in mathematics and uh, particularly focused on algebra and pre-calculus topics. Right? So these are the certain examples of intelligent tutoring system. The another category of AI tools is the language learning app. So you can learn different languages other than English. For English language also there are certain tools for learning those languages, right? So language learning apps examples can be chat. It can be as it here it is included as a Duolingo, right? So this Duolingo is one of the most well-known language learning app. It offers courses in over 30 languages and uses gamification to engage learners with active vocabulary practice, even listening exercises, speaking challenges can be given through this Duolingo app. Then Rosetta Stone is another app, so it can be utilized to to give emphasis on the speaking and listening skills through the interactive lesson and speech recognition technology. Then Babel is there. That is one of the most popular app for learning different kind of languages. So it supports more than 14 languages, focusing on practical vocabulary and conversational skills. It uses AI algorithms to provide the contents as per the learner's interest. It has different goals which have been set. You can set your goal within what time period you want to complete the current language into the different topic wise, or you can say proficiency wise. You can set those goals. Then next one is the memorize. So this combines speed repetition, mnemonics, gamification to memorize vocabulary and grammar rules. Right? So it offers courses in various languages and allows learners to create their own flashcards. So as its name suggests, it is nothing but memorize. So through flashcards, you can remember different concepts, right? Even it you can create different learning pathways through this app. Then there is Hello Talk. It is language exchange app that connects user with native speakers around the world for language practice. So through Hello Talk, you can connect with the citizens of different resident of different countries, and you can do the practice of that particular language through those residents, right? So that is the one of the you can say best app, because you will get the actual or real time practice through this app, and you can make different connects so that you can do proper practice of the required language. Right? So next one is the Tandem. So this Tandem app is another language exchange app similar to HelloTalk that facilitates communication between language learners and native speakers. So even more functionalities are offered compared to HelloTalk in Tandem. So it offers text, voice, video chat options for language practice. Next language learning app is Busu. So Busu has support for more than 12 languages. So where you can have interactive lessons which can be exchanged among the different users who are using this Busu app. Even 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 you can exchange the concepts related to your study plans, as well as you can have feedback which can be given on the assignments, writing assignments which has been generated through app itself, right? So you can solve various assignments through this app. Then this is also one of the most popular apps, that is Lingoyear Probably you may find this app, uh, the default installation of this app in most of the mobiles. So it offer courses in several languages, focusing on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, even interactive lessons, quizzes, games to engage learners. So this was the third category of AI tools. Then next category is virtual classroom. So you might have used most of these platforms, right, during lockdown to give instructions to the students, like Google Classroom, Zoom, Microsoft Team. Canvas provides more functionalities compared to Google Classroom or Zoom because it has different integrated tools available. You can create what you can say, call it as different groups of students within that particular platform, uh, which can work on the similar concepts or the technical subjects, right? Then Blackboard, Collaborate, Schoology, Cisco WebEx, Adobe Connect, all these are the examples of virtual classroom, which can be utilized to give what you can say, instructions or the study material to your student. Some of these tools have uh, different options available or integrated functionalities available, like Google Classroom can be utilized through or connected through Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Meet, right? So those integrated tools can be incorporated in the Google Classroom. Then you can have Microsoft Teams, which has by default integration of Microsoft 365. So whatever tools available in Microsoft 365, all those tools are accessible through Microsoft Teams. So there is no separate requirement that Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Office is to be installed on your platform or device to get connected through the Microsoft Teams, right? So next one is the Canvas. So it has discussion forums which can be connected through this Canvas platform, right? So I'm just telling you the additional features which has been provided in those you can say platforms which are not available in other platforms, right? So this Blackboard Collaborate. So it is the Blackboard Learn app. It is a classroom integrated platform. So in the live classroom, you can utilize this Blackboard Collaborate app where you can connect your digital blackboards and you can store your notes, you can record your lectures, right? So those can be accessible afterwards for the students who are absent in the classroom, right? The Schoology is the learning management system along with the virtual classroom designed for the school students as well as higher educational institutions, right? Next one is Cisco WebEx. So you can have HD conversation through the Cisco WebEx. It provides various functionality like polling, like quizzes. During the lecture delivery, you can initiate through the Cisco WebEx. Similar sort of platform is there, that is Adobe Connect. It also provides the goals, quizzes, breakout rooms, document sharing through Adobe Connect can be provided. Then there are certain tools which can be utilized for content creation. Just for example, if I want to design a small animation for my concept, uh, which is to be explained to the students, right? So for that purpose, you can utilize these content creation tools, right? So you might be aware about the Canva, where you can create different graphics, right? It offers wide range of uh, already available templates, so you don't have to do any additional task for designing, or the default templates can be utilized, right? It also has the customizable elements for creating visually appealing presentation. Infographics can be included, posters and other educational materials can be included through Canva. The Adobe Spark is there, it is a paid tool, right? So it uses visual content. You can even create the web pages, videos, graphics, right? For multimedia presentation. Then screen customatic. So this is the screen recording software where you can record all the activities of screen. If you are, for example, generating the tutorial for how to use Word or Excel. Okay, so all that can be recorded through this screen customatic. Even you can add the voiceovers, annotations. Even you can edit the footage to create professional looking videos through screen customatic. The think link is there. So think link can be considered as one of the 360-degree virtual tutor, right? So it has again the functionality for interactive images, videos, 360-degree virtual tour can be integrated into the concepts of teaching learning process. Then there is Padlet. So it is a digital canvas that allows users to create and collaborate on multimedia based bulletin boards. So it can create interactive lessons, class, collect student responses. Then there is H5P. It is open source content authorization tool, right? That allows educators to create interactive content. So this is open source tool, H5P. You can create interactive contents by utilizing this tool. You can create your presentation, quizzes, games, simulations. Even it offers wide range of content types and customization options to suit various educational needs. Then there is quizzes, right? So this quizzes can be, as its name suggests, you can use it to create interactive quizzes, surveys, assessments. Then there is generally, so it is multimedia content creation tool to create presentation, infographics, interactive images can be created through this generally. Then storyboard, that is storytelling tool, right? So for any concept, you can create the stories, and through stories, you can elaborate that concept to the learner. It can you can create visual narratives. Even if you have seen the comics book, so such comics can be created through this storyboard that even it can be utilized for writing the projects. Even you can explore the historical events, illustrate concept in various subject areas. Then Edu Creations is an interactive whiteboard app that allows educators to create video lessons, tutorials by narrating digital whiteboard drawings. So you can integrate the digital whiteboard with this app, and it can automatically narrate the contents the learner. So this edu creation app may be suitable for flipped classroom models. Even you can give personalized instruction, and it can also be utilized for remote learning uh, environments. Then plagiarism detection software, as I already told you, you can use Authenticate and Turnitin. These are the two paid tools which can use for plagiarism detection. Then Grammarly, even it has additional functionality. It can correct the grammar, paraphrasing or sentence creation. Then these flags can copy escape, unit check, plagiarism checker X, swiper. These are some of the open source or free tools available for checking the plagiarism. Okay, in the contents that you have created. Out of these, this plagiarism checker X can also be used as the desktop based application. You can install it on your PCs or laptop, and the remaining applications can be accessed online, okay, through URLs. You can directly search it in Google by typing their name, and you will get the web address or URL for each application. Then there are tools which can be utilized for analyzing the student performance. So some of the tools here are learning management system. So there are various kinds of learning management systems, right? So like you have Moodle, Blackboard, Schoology, all these are the learning management systems through which you can analyze the student performance. their attendance can be monitored, their assignment submission status can be monitored, right? So all those things can be monitored through such learning management system. Then this Tableau is there, so it is the visualization platform through which you can explore various trends like result analysis on the patterns in the placements, on the correlation in student achievements. Even you can identify which are the students which are at risk or slow learners. So all those kind of analysis can be performed through this software, that is Tableau. Then there is Bright Space Insights. It is another learning management system platform. We can use to analyze the performance, engagement, and behavior of the students. Then HB is there. Again, it is a student information system through which you can give real-time student uh, data like grades, attendance, assessments, and learning progress. Another tool is Power School Analytics. This can be utilized for the student up to 12th class. And again, it provides different analytics based on student test scores, demographic data, attendance records, as well as it can be utilized to analyze the trends and patterns in student performance. Then Illuminate Education is there. You can identify the growth trajectory of the learners. Even you can analyze the proficiency level of the learners or the employees, right? Through this Illuminate Education. Then Google Analytics for Education is one of the paid platforms. So you can analyze the website traffic, user behavior, engagement with online learning resources through this platform. Right? So next category of AI tools is chatbots and virtual assistants, right? So these are the some of the listed or commonly used applications like IBM Watson Assist. So it provides to create visual tutor answer the student questions. Even you can provide the personalized learning recommendation to the students. Microsoft Azure Bot Service allows educators to create intelligent chatbots. You can create websites. You can also create the learning management systems. Mobile, even it can be integrated into mobile apps for delivering the content and to facilitate the communication with students. There is another tool that is Google Assistant for educator. So it can be utilized by the trainers. It has different, you can say, this can be integrated into Google Classroom, Google Calendar, Google Drive, right? As it is the tool provided by the Google, which is assistant for the education. In ChatGPT, you might be aware about this particular tool. We'll be looking at the demonstration of ChatGPT, how you can create a simple research article through the ChatGPT, right? Then there is Adaface. So it is the chatbot platform designed for educational institutions to automate admissions, enrollments, student support processes like you can say that examination form filling or scholarship form filling, right? So all this can be automated through this particular platform. There is elementary chat. So it is a chatbot platform designed for the students up to the 12th class. It can be utilized for work help, right? Study support in various subjects. Even it can be utilized to give different grade levels and curriculum standards to provide personalized assistance to the students. Jill Watson is another platform. It is, I think, developed by Georgia Tech. So it was created to assist the instructor in managing large online courses by answering students' questions and providing feedback on assignments and facilitating discussions. Then there are different grading and assessment tools like GradeCamp. So if you are taking the assessment on the hard papers, so if you are taking the assignments from the students, so those assignment can be scanned and grade paper-based assessment using computer or mobile devices through this GradeCamp application. Even zip grade application is there. So Even you can use any device like laptop or mobile phone camera to scan and grade the multiple choice assessments. It provides instant feedback to the students and generate analytical reports through this GPRATE. Then CrowdMark is there. CrowdMark is online grading and assessment platform designed for higher education institutions. You can grade the digital assignment, exams, essay collaboratively in real time. Then eDoctrina is there. So again, this is the grading and assessment platform which can be utilized to grade, create, administer, and analyze assessments online. Then there is ExamSoft, another assessment platform. It can be utilized by educational institute for secure and computer-based testing. Then Moodle Quiz, again, it is online platform which can be integrated in the learning management system, where you can create quiz, you can give timeline, you can give timer, you can give assessment results. Then Responders is there. So it can be integrated in the earlier apps that we have seen, that is Blackboard, Canvas, Moodle. Right? Or even you can create the online assessment for the students through this app. Then GradeScope is there. Again, it is assessment tool or grading tool, right? You can interpret the handwriting, can detect patterns. Some student do what a single assignment book comprising multiple handwriting patterns. So that can be analyzed directly through this GradeScope app. So what are the different students who are copying the assignments can be analyzed through this particular platform, GradeScope. Then the emotion recognition platform is there, right? So this emotion recognition platform can be utilized for analyzing the emotions of the learners, to know the attentiveness of the students in the online content delivery. So some of the available apps or system here are, first one is this Effectiva. This is you can automate the education through this particular platform. You can analyze the facial expression to detect the emotions in reality through images or through video frames or video streams. Then Microsoft Azure Cognitive Service Emotion API, it is specifically provided by the Microsoft, and it can be integrated into all the Microsoft platforms. So different emotions can be analyzed, like happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, like this, right? Then IBM Watson Tone Analyzer. So here you can analyze the speech of the learners to detect the emotional tones, language styles, social tendencies, right? Even you can analyze emotion like joy, sadness, anger, fear, even the other emotions can be analyzed through this particular tool. Then there is tool which is called as Beyond Verbal. So this Beyond Verbal is company that develops emotion recognition technology based on vocal biomarkers. It has acoustic properties of voice recording to detect and interpret emotional states, personality, probably traits, even cognitive conditions. Then there is Heroes. It is facial and emotional analysis software, can be integrated to different applications. Emotion, which is currently acquired by the Apple. So it is this Emotion was initially a startup company, right? Now recently it is acquired by the Apple. So it can also analyze the facial expressions. It provide emotion analysis solution for various industries, including retail, advertisement, and healthcare. So the consumer emotions can be analyzed through this Emotion module. Even you can analyze the students' emotions. Then Nolder's face reader is there. So it is again automatic facial expression analysis tool, which can analyze different expressions or emotions like surprise, fear, anger, happiness, disgust, sadness. Then Avdex, it is developed by iMotions. So it is a software platform for expression analysis and emotion recognition. Even it provides real-time emotion detection from facial images or videos. Then the machine learning libraries are available, right? like, so these are the development libraries. Those who are from maybe software background, they might be aware about there are different machine learning libraries. So basically, more specifically, the scikit-learn library is utilized for implementing the machine learning algorithms, while TensorFlow and Keras libraries are utilized for implementing the deep learning frameworks. While PyTorch is another library which can be integrated in the machine learning as well as deep learning approaches. Then there are different tools which are available for analyzing the natural languages, right? Like Sparsy is there, then natural language toolkit is there, then GenSim is there. So GenSim can also be utilized to analyze languages, different types of languages or different kinds of languages, right? Then there are deep learning frameworks that I already explained here, that TensorFlow, Keras can be utilized for implementing the deep learning approaches. Probably if you want to design any recommendation system, classification system, you want to analyze the reviews or ratings of products, if you want to analyze the popularity of some leaders. So for that purpose, you can use machine learning libraries or machine learning approaches. While if you want to analyze the satellite images or images with huge dimensions or sizes, in such cases, you can utilize the deep learning frameworks. While in case of natural language processing, you can analyze the sentiments of the user, whether those sentiments are positive, negative, or neutral. Right. So depending on that, uh, the post shared by the users on various social media platform can be analyzed through these natural language processing tools. Right. Then there are different visualization tools available in Python or other languages like Matplotlib is there, Seaborn is there, Plotly is there. So all these are the visualization softwares where you can explore and communicate the findings of your research or maybe your AD work. Right? Then there is automatic ML platform. So automated machine learning platform. There are different platforms available like Google Auto ML, H2O AI, then Data Robot. So these platforms can automate the process of model selection, hyperparameter tuning, and future engineering. These are some of the concepts related to machine learning and AI, right? So this can be done through this automated machine learning platform. And there are research paper search engine. There are many, right? Like Google Scholar, PubMed, Microsoft Academic. Even you can go to IEEE Explore, Elsewhere, Springer, right? ACM, all these can be utilized for publication platform or the engines for searching the research articles. And there are reference management software like Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote. So you can manage the references which are included in your what we can say research article or maybe thesis. Even BibTeX, MikTeX are the examples for reference management software. There are collaborative research platforms like GitHub. Overleaf can be utilized to generate the formatted PDF, thesis, reports, articles, papers. Then there is another platform that is Authority, which can be utilized to provide the version control, document sharing, collaborative writing, right? So for this purpose, this platform can be utilized. Then there are AI-driven experiment design tools like Opnity, SIGOpt, HyperOpt, right? So these experiment design and optimization tools can be utilized to create the experimental design for your research. So you can search through the space of experimental parameters and identify the optimal settings for the current experiment. There are different knowledge discovery platforms which are available, right? So those knowledge discovery platforms like IBM Watson Discovery and ISD uses different artificial intelligence algorithms to analyze large data sets and uncover the hidden patterns and insights. Researchers use knowledge discovery platforms to identify trends, anomalies, and correlation between their data. So the data relations can be identified through these knowledge discovery platforms. So all these are the AI tools as well as different applications available for education as well as research. So initially we discussed about the AI tools for education, and on this last slide we have discussed the AI tools for the research. Right. So we'll see now there are different tools like Chat GPT which are already available. So first one is the Chat GPT. Next one is the Microsoft Copilot. So it is the best Chat GPT alternative available. So another one is the Anthropix Cloud based AI chatbot for image interpretation. So you can submit the images to this particular tool, and it will give the summarized interpretation for the submitted images. Then Perplexity AI is best AI chatbot for search. Then Jasper is their best AI chatbot for businesses and marketers. So you want to do the marketing of any product, so you can utilize this Jasper. Then u.com is there, so it can be utilized for large learning models testing, where you can provide the different options to the user, right? Then Chat Sonic by Write Sonic, so you can write the articles through this particular software. Then initially Bard was there, recently named as Gemini. So you can use it in place of chatbot or chat GPT, right? So another tool for generating contents or knowing the answers of various questions. Then Socratic by Google. So kids and students can utilize this tool to get their queries solved or to get the understanding of various concepts related to different subjects, right? Then Hugging Chat, it is the open source chatbot. If you are talking about ChatGPT, so ChatGPT has both options. You can use their paid service and you can use their free service, right? So I'll just demonstrate here how you can use this ChatGPT to generate article, right? So I'll switch to the my web URL, right? I think this screen is visible to all of you, right? Uh, this browser is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
So I just have entered this particular URL, that is chatgpt.com. You might be aware about different research articles can be created. So we'll just create one blank file here, Word document, research article. Right? So through ChatGPT, we'll try to generate a particular research article, right? So it is blank file currently, and we'll try to give the same name. Just for example, AI tools. I'll name this article as artificial intelligence tools for education and research, right? So as all of you are aware about that, for any article, you have different contents, right? What are the different contents available? So first we'll write down the abstract. So you can go to this ChatGPT tool, or you can use the Bard or Gemini, right, to generate such contents. So here I have typed what abstract for this particular title, that is artificial intelligent tools for education and research. So here it is generating abstract, right, for my research article that I'm trying to create through this particular tool, that is nothing but ChatGPT. So here I will include the abstract. Okay. taken from or generated by the chat GPT. Right? So next part of your research article is nothing but the introduction, right? Introduction, as well as you can also include the literature review or related work for that particular domain, right? So I included introduction of the topic I have typed it, right? So it is generating the, hello. So it is generating the introduction part, okay, for my article. So next, I am just including the introduction part of the article, right? So here you can see the introduction that has been generated for my article, right? So here you can see that even it is specifying this paper seeks to explore multifaceted impact of AI tools and research. So such keywords can be included while generating the other sections of this particular article, right? The next part is nothing but the literature review, right? Or you can call it as what, related work for that same topic. Okay. So again, topic was AI tools for education and research, right? So here I can include literature review on. I will extend this query with references, right? So here it will generate, it will generate, just a second. So it will generate the entire literature review depending on different subtopics inside the main topic that I have inserted, right? And if you look at the contents that has been generated here, so along with the review that it is generating, it is also including the citations, right? With the author names and the year of publication, correct? So here you can see the citations are also included in the review that has been generated through ChatGPT. Okay. So such review can be included in the paper, right? So again, you can copy this entire review and you can include it in your paper. Here you can see the reference list has also been included through the ChatGPT. So those references can also be included in the article that we are creating. So first I will include the literature review. Okay. So this is the literature review section of my article. And then at the bottom side, I will be including the references list, right? So here different references has been generated with the year of publication, page number, as well as publishers of those articles, right? Here you can see you can also number those references, right? You can also format it as per your need. So total, how many references has been included? So 11 references has been included. So if you want more number of references, in that case, you can modify your query. So just I have written here literature review on tools for education and research with references. So here I will specify with 30 references. 30 references. So depending on how many references you will require in your article, according to that, you can type in your query there, right? So next in my article, I will be including another section, for example, comparative analysis of the same topic I will be inserting here, that is AI tools for education and research. Okay. So that is another,
गेल्या वर्षी त्यांनी खूप
you
लेट
can say
टाकले.
that topic I am just inserting in my article, that is comparative analysis of
हम्म.
AI tools for education and research. So again, I can give that query. So currently it is generating the literature with 30 references, right? So it will take time. I think I am audible to everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you can see it is generating the review for 30 articles. Even you can stop the current generation because we have already included the literature review. Just I want to show you
आपण
that
सुधारला रामदासराव
you can
सुधारला आता.
generate the review for the specified number of references as well, right? So here I have included the another section topic that I want to include in my article. So here the name given to that particular section is comparative analysis of artificial intelligence tool for education and research. So here it is generating the contents for it. In similar manner, you can have the performance evaluation
वांगेवाडी हे उठलं.
of again this AI tools.
हम्म.
Even you can have mathematical model for this particular topic. So such queries can be inserted in ChatGPT to directly generate the results or the contents, right, related to your article. So here you can see that initially it has included the AI tools for education, right, application in education and research, and then it is comparing it, right, on the basis of various parameters. So it has given the comparative analysis as well, right? So such section can also be included in your article, right?
जाऊ दे लावून ठेवा आली तरी
Just I am including
उद्या
it.
दिवसभर राहिली तर होऊनच जाते 4 वेळेत.
Now, if you want to create the performance evaluation table, okay, for these AI tools, and so such table can also be generated through this
मारला
particular
तरी 100
tool,
मध्ये टाकून
like
सकाळी सकाळी
performance evaluation table based on
वरला
various metrics, right,
हर सवाची टाकताला
for
ते वेगळंच ठेवून आहे ना आणलेलं.
artificial intelligence tools in education. So here you can see two different responses that has been generated.
तर आपलं एक पंप भरून आणलं असंच मारला तरी इकडे भरला का तिकडेच बघायचं.
So it is also showing the different metrics which are used in different literature, right,
भरून जाते सगळं.
and their comparison, correct? So both things has been generated here. So such tables can be included in your article, right? Even you can type in the another query, that is performance evaluation table for AI tools in education and research. So currently the initial generation is going on. So once it is over, another will be started. So it has generated this particular table. So you can include this table as it is, right, by selecting a proper response generated by the ChatGPT, right? So you can include this table in your article, and you can format it according to your need, right? So here design, so this one. Okay, so likewise this table has been formatted. So next query that I want to insert here is the performance evaluation table for AI tools and education in research. So it is also including the numerical value now. If you observe, the initial table have given the only comparison, right? But here you will also see the different values. What should be the value for getting the better accuracy, scalability, user friendliness, personalization, efficiency, right? So these are the different parameter or metrics utilized to evaluate your tools in education and research field, right? So likewise, you can generate uh, most of the contents, right, which can be included in your article, and you can generate that article with very less time. Here you can also see the parameters which has been utilized to create those metrics has also been explained through this particular tool, that is ChatGPT. So this table can also be included in your article, right? So likewise, you can create your article within very short time period. Last option, most of the time you will come across, you want to create mathematical model for your research topic. So again, if you type mathematical model, so it will generate equations, right? It will give mathematical notations, correct? And the entire mathematical model can be generated through this particular tool, right? So in this manner, you can use the chat GPT tool to generate the entire contents which can be included in your research article. Right? So again, these contents can be directly copied into your article. So this is nothing but what? Mathematical model. You can reframe the sentences, you can reframe the contents, including all these contents. Mathematical equations are not directly copied, so you need to insert it into your article. Here equation option is there, so through that you can include the mathematical equations, right? So by looking into the actual equations that has been generated or the symbols that has been assigned to the with different notations, those symbols can be included in Word to this equation editor, right? So this is how you can generate your article with very less time period and with very less uh, efforts. So if you look at this particular Word file, initially it was blank. Now it comprises 12 pages, right? So obviously when you format, it will reduce to 6-7 pages as per the paper formatting rules and guidelines of various publishers. But still you can extend in this manner. Okay. So that's all I think from my side. But the one thing that I want to include here, in most of the journal submissions or the contents or book publishers, they will take the declaration from the user, right? So the contents or the articles that you are submitting to those publisher, those should not be generated through the AI tools, right? Or content generation tools, right? So this is not the practice, right? So you should not follow this particular way of creating the articles. Just I have demonstrated it. You can utilize these tools for making or taking what can be the structure of your article, how those contents can be included. Then you can include your own contents into those sections and the article contents. But you should not use ChatGPT like tool to create the articles directly, right? So it will be directly considered as a plagiarism, or as well as it will be considered as the copyright violation, right? So I think that's all from my side. So if you are having any queries, then you can ask. Hello.
Yeah,
There is one question from him, Chaudhary sir, I think. So how we reference paper because most are paid, right? So I think the question is related to they want to include the standard reference or standard journal articles, right? So for that purpose, you can directly go to, I will just demonstrate here. You can directly go to IEEE Explore. There is concepts which is called as open access journals, right? Where you can get free access to the articles. Okay. So you can directly download this. So you can just, for example, I will demonstrate you. So if you are trying to access the IEEE Explore website, right? Sorry, IEEE Explore, IEEE Explore. Okay. So in this IEEE Explore, if you want to download the articles to the latest topic, just for example, again, we will take same topic, AI tools for research, right? So once I have entered this query, so here you will see more than 3799 articles are there, right? But some of the articles are locked. Okay. So here you can change the relevance as newest one, right? And another option is here, that is open access only. So if you click on this open access option, so you will get 368 filtered results, and all these papers are directly accessible, and even these papers are published in the standard as well as reputed publications like IEEE Access, even transactions like this one, right? So you will find Journal of Social Computing, right? There is journal article. So all these are the open access articles. So you are getting more than 300 articles free, even of recent years, that is 2024. So that is one of the way to get the access to the journals, right? Or the standard papers, right? So I think Hemant Chaudhary sir, I have addressed your query. If you click on any one of these paper, you can get the direct PDF access, okay, to that particular paper, and it is freely accessible. So it is called as what? Open access journal. Okay. This is the journal article, right? So any other query?
Yes, sir. Sir, may I?
Yes, yes.
Sir, my question is apart from this, as AI tools are very needful, or we can say that it is very helpful, but excessive use of these AI tools should stop our own thinking and creativity.
That is correct. I have just specified it that I have demonstrated how to generate the research article. Right? I have just demonstrated the use of ChatGPT, correct? But I have mentioned there to know the concepts, you can use those tools, right? But to create the research article of your own, you should write it by your own, right? Because see, even to students, I suggest that you should not watch the video lectures or the video tutorials available. You should go through the textbooks, right? Standard textbooks. Through textbooks, you will get more details of whatever concept you want to explore or you want to study, right? Through ChatGPT or such tools, it is giving the limited answers, right? The simplified answers,
Yes,
but
sir.
details behind those answers are missing, right? Even when students are coming or going to their respective subject teacher for a certain query, instead of going to the subject teacher, they should take the reference of standard textbooks, because when they are trying to solve their queries by their own, so the more concepts they will learn, right? When they are
Yes.
going through to this AI-based tools or to their subject teacher, they will be telling the limited answer to their queries. But student or we faculty try to solve our queries by reading textbooks. We know more technical concepts, right?
Thank you, sir.
So any other query?
So I guess nowadays even there are the AI plagiarism also that has been checked. Is it?
Yes, sir.
I guess nowadays, along with the like plagiarism checking mechanism, it has been checked AI plagiarism also, whether it has been the same thing as.
Right. See, basically, what is AI plagiarism check? Whenever you are generating any contents, okay, through such AI tools, the standard publisher have already, they take declarations from the authors or the contributors that the contents that has been generated are not generated through the AI tools or any chat GPT like generator, right? So what is the reason for it? Because uh, you are using chat GPT for generating the contents. So obviously that contents copyrights are with chat GPT. Those are not your contents. Okay. Those are the contents generated by chat GPT. I will tell you the recent, what you can say, the incident when our Indian cricket team has won the World Cup. So our honorable Prime Minister has written the congratulation message to Ravindra Jadeja, right? So that message what was ChatGPT generated. So who explored that message what ChatGPT generated? So obviously it has been publicized by ChatGPT itself, right? Or the owners of ChatGPT itself. So anytime, whenever you are utilizing such contents in your research endeavors or maybe for your academic pursuits, so anytime such organization or company like ChatGPT can file copyright suit to the users who are utilizing it. There is another way because ChatGPT also or AI-based tools also have their paid services available. If you are using free service, so you are using the older version of ChatGPT, right? So it is called as GPT engine. So that GPT engine version is older one. So when you are purchasing the paid service from ChatGPT, so you will get the latest version. Even you can observe the contents that I have generated through ChatGPT in literature review. So it has not included the latest references or latest literature review in my article or the content that has been generated because its database is older when I am using the uh, free service of ChatGPT, right? It is not including the latest articles or research or review into my search queries, right? So you will find that only year 2022 up to that you will get the literature review or the references available through ChatGPT. The latest references will not be included. So, okay. So any other query? So I think no further queries are there. Okay, I think no further queries are there. We can end this session here. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir.